The city is covered in snow tonight. Where did my love go? Santa, I'm waiting for him, but he's nowhere inside. And all of the presents are still by the tree. They don't mean a thing till he's here with me. If you know where he is, please give him a ride. And I will wait here by the candlelight, 'cause his love is all I need. And my love I can guarantee. So please Santa, bring back my love tonight. Hey, Santa, sleigh bells ringing and my friends by my side, but it's not the same. Santa, I'm smiling but feeling empty inside, 'cause all of the presents are still by the tree. They don't mean a thing till he's here with me. If you know where he is, please give him a ride. And I will wait here by the candlelight, 'cause his love is all I need. And my love I can guarantee. So
All right, you guys, we're starting off in the entryway, of course. This is the wreath that we have on our front door, and I promised myself that I wasn't gonna go into Kirklands this year because I could just buy the whole store. I think it's also cute, but it's very trendy. But I saw a really pretty garland that I went in for, and I ended up walking out with this gorgeous wreath. I love the bells. You're gonna notice that bells are a big thing in my decorating, as well as the natural looking greenery. So I know I can link this. Anything that I know that I can link, I will. If I miss something, just ask me in a comment and I will get back to you. So that's the front door. I'm gonna swing you around a little bit. And we have our entryway table. This is very similar to how it was last year. Just some really pretty candles and greenery. My mirror is from Homegoods. You guys always ask me about that. And then you'll notice that I framed out a lot of furniture, wall hangings, doorways, windows, whatever, with some sort of a garland. And the bells are on there too, of course. And my lantern that just always sits out here, that's from Walmart. And I want to say they might have that back again this year. We do have this small entryway bench that I just put a scarf kind of acting like a blanket and a pillow. And then above that I have this piece that I got from Kirklands last year. And my new addition this year, or one of my new additions I should say, is this tree that I have in a crate. I have always wanted a tree in this little nook, and this was the year that I did it. I did not decorate it because the dogs will actually wait right there for us, and I didn't want them to knock something off and get hurt, so it's just bare, but I like the bare trees. So that's the entryway. We are going to move on to the family room now. Also, you guys, if the lighting changes between shots, it's just because it's winter and we actually are getting snow right now. So the lighting's not great, and I'll probably be losing the light eventually here. But this will lead you to our bedrooms down our hallway, which I haven't done anything in there yet. And then to our family room, which I love and I cannot wait to show you guys. Alright, you guys, I didn't want to have to do this, but I brought in additional lighting, so I hope that it's not changing the color too much for you. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but we have snow outside, so it's pretty gloomy out because there's snow clouds, and it's just, even though it's daytime, it's impossible to see everything clearly in here. So our TV stand we do like to keep pretty simple. You'll notice that the lights on the garland are flashing. I typically have them on just the on setting where they're a constant glow without any twinkle, but the camera picks it up as flashing either way, so this setting was the least obnoxious. They are just on like how the tree is, but these type of lights flash on the camera for some reason. So we have our pillow from our friend Jen. And then I happen to really like the more simple wispy garlands versus the super full ones. I feel like they look more organic and natural, and they fit our space better and our vibe. So I love the full ones too, but I tried to like double this up and add a few different garlands, and it was just too much. So I left it like that. And then down below, we do tend to keep this pretty simple, but I did a special little arrangement on the bottom shelf there. So just a quick little story about this arrangement. These are all little bits and bobs from our wedding, or not all of it, but most of it. So the box is a cigar box, and the cigar brand is called Te Amo. I found this at an antique mall, so it's vintage. And when I was engaged right before our wedding, I was looking for wedding gifts for my husband, and I picked up this box for him to use as the box for his wedding gift because his first language is Spanish, so that was perfect. And then the spools of ribbon, that's the ribbon that we used on our flower bouquets, and the gold letters were our cake topper. So then we just added in some greenery and some vintage shiny brights to pull in the Christmas theme. And I'm just so excited that I found a way to actually decorate with some little things like this, because I was wondering, you know, am I gonna have to toss these? What will I ever do with them again? And they just make really cute decor. So I'm hoping to incorporate those into my seasonal decor moving forward. And I don't know if I showed you guys, but I just have this bowl with pine cones and copper bells and greenery. They are cinnamon scented pine cones, so they smell pretty good. And then for my tree, I made a whole separate video about my tree, so I'll link that down below if you want all of the details, but it is a new tree. And I really wanted this to feel like nostalgic, traditional, classic Christmas, but still elegant. So I think it turned out just like what I wanted it to. And I just think it's the prettiest tree. I'm so happy I made the switch to all green trees again. I had flocked ones before if you're new here, and they were beautiful, but they were just too modern for what I was going for. So I decked out this tree with tons and tons of ornaments. We have lots and lots of vintage ornaments on this tree that I have collected. Just some of them would be like this one here. This is another vintage one. I mean, we have them all over. Probably like close to half of them would be vintage. And I get these like garage sales, thrift stores, antique malls. My husband always gets me a few hand-blown glass ornaments each year for my birthday, so these are a couple of those. And then we just have some that are like handmade ones from family and friends, like my little nutcracker that my brother made me for Christmas last year. Just lots of little pretty things, and ones that we've personally collected along the way for special moments and on vacation and things like that. So I love this tree. It's so fun for me to just stop and look at and remember where I got each ornament from and all of that. So that is the family Christmas tree in the living room. I know I will get questions about the tree skirt. That is actually just from Homegoods. And then this year I did put a basket full of wrapping paper next to the tree, kind of like a reminder to get to shopping and wrapping, but also just to display it, because I do pick out wrapping paper that coordinates with my decor, but I'm a last minute shopper and a last minute wrapper, so I'll never be the person who has like 100 presents under the tree perfectly coordinated and wrapped. It's just not my reality, so setting the paper next to the tree is kind of like the next best thing. So for our seating area, it's very similar to last year. You guys have seen all these blankets and pillows either from last year or a haul video this year, which I'll link all my Christmas videos for you guys down below. And on the coffee table, I do like to keep it very simple. I hate to like have to fuss with my decor in order to use tabletops and countertops and stuff, so I just like to put things in baskets or just decorate those surfaces very minimally so that it's easy to take off if I need to. So we also have this little side table here, and I just did a really gorgeous candle and this little greenery arrangement that I got from Target last year. So just simple and functional. I always like to have candles out, and you always need coasters. And then behind the couch, I have this shelf, which I don't want you guys to see the bottom because it's a mess. But it was really fun to decorate for Christmas for the first time because I got this in the fall. So let me try to get in closer so I can give you some better detail. So on this shelf, I have my newer dough bowl that came from Crate and Barrel, and it was a wedding gift. And I put these pillar candles in it. These are real candles, and I don't actually light these because there's a shelf up above, but I did light it just for a second to show you guys what it would look like, because this would be gorgeous as a centerpiece or on a buffet or something like that. So I just had to show you guys. And I love that realistic greenery look, which you can pretty much find anywhere these days. It used to be kind of hard to find, but I mean, the Target dollar, a lot of this is from the Target dollar spot, Hearth and Hand, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. And yeah, so did I mention that the pillar candles are from our wedding? That's kind of fun, but like I said, I'm not really lighting them, so I'm gonna blow them out and move on to the next shelf. So if you guys can see a little smoke, it's because I just blew those candles out. Nothing's on fire, don't worry. But on this next shelf, I have my collection of oversized bells. The bigger ones are from Kirklands last year, and the smaller one is part of the set that's on my coffee table, and those were from Amazon. And then above, I have the top of it framed in some garland, and that cute little wooden rocking horse is actually from a Kroger grocery store a couple years ago, but I was just in there and they had really cute Christmas decor, and I never see people shop there, so I totally recommend going in there and looking at their decor next time you're grocery shopping if you want to find some pieces that you maybe haven't seen everybody else share, because it's definitely commercial, but they're not the same things that are at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or anything like that. So just wanted to mention that. So moving over from there, you guys can probably see out of my patio sliding glass doors the snow a little bit better, but here is my fireplace area, and I have my ring light plugged in. That's what that cord is there, in case you were wondering. But I did not hang up my clock. I say this in every single home tour video that I'm gonna hang up my clock on this wall, and I never do. It's just not the right thing for that space, but I don't want to just buy something as a filler. Like, I want the right piece, so we're waiting for that. And I have some stockings, of course. The stocking hangers are new this year from Hobby Lobby. I liked that they were just simple and gold. And above the clock, I did some greenery and some ribbon and berries. And then over here, my vintage Crocs with a tree, a poinsettia, which I literally just got this and it's already wilting and dying. So if you have any poinsettia tips and tricks, let me know. And my little bell snickle Santa, he is so cute. The ring light is making him look dingy or something. He's not, he's brand new, but I just love how vintage and charming he is. So I have started a mini collection of those that I hope to add to each year. Oh, and I get asked about this blanket ladder all the time, which is surprising to me because, I mean, I feel like you can get a blanket ladder anywhere. But this one is made out of reclaimed wood and it's from house.com. If it's still available, I'll have it linked down below for you guys. Okay, so now we're gonna head towards the kitchen area. And I'm sure you guys saw this gorgeous tree. This is my King of Christmas tree, and I have a collar from Michael's on it this year. And I just left it bare because I put those really cool sphere lights on it, and I just think that they are enough. It doesn't need a whole lot more. Although it looks gorgeous with ornaments, and I did decorate it last year. And I have these candles from Amazon. They're battery operated. My friend actually tied little velvet ribbons to her candles like this, and maybe I will do that because I really love that look. But there's about 10 of them on the tree, and the tree is actually so pretty with just those lit. If I had more of the candles, I would totally do that. And the camera is kind of making the lights look like they're flashing, also they're not. But that is my little halfway into the kitchen tree. All right, so now for our little kitchen table. We did get new stools. They are brown leather and they are so comfortable. We love these compared to the ones that we had before, which were fine. They were just basic stools that came with the table. I feel like this kind of elevates it a little bit and warms it up. So as I said about my tabletop surfaces, I do like to keep it simple. So I just have a runner that could honestly be ironed. And then this gorgeous wooden bowl with the little brass handles filled with fresh pomegranates, whole walnuts, pine cones, and then little bits of greenery that I've picked off of garlands and swags and stuff. So I think that's really pretty, and eventually I would like to replace this tapestry with a really large art piece or maybe a collage. I'm not sure. Not like an art collage, but maybe a photo collage of wedding photos or something. But yeah, that is the kitchen table. And like I said, you might be able to see the snow. I think it stopped at this point, but we got maybe like 2 inches or so, and I don't know how long it's supposed to last, but it was really fun to see the snow. It's our first big snow for the season. All right, so anyways, moving on from there, my little coffee station. You guys are used to seeing me do a tiered tray, but I really wanted to have my French press out because I love using that on the weekends. And he did not fit on my tiered tray. And I also wanted to have out my new Nutcracker and my vintage Santa mug, so this little cake stand works just fine. And I did get a new holiday mug. This one is from, I think, West Elm. For the rest of the kitchen, I keep it very, very simple, as I said before. So right here, I have just some fresh greenery that I cut from my backyard, sitting on some cookbooks and a cutting board, and my adorable little German smoker. I'm going to light him up and show you guys him in his full glory in just a second here. But because he is so tiny, he only goes for like a couple minutes, so I had to wait until we got to him. Let me get him going for you guys. So I put him up here so you could see him a little bit better. The smoke was kind of getting lost in my white backsplash, but I think you can kind of see the smoke coming out of his mouth. He is so cool. I grew up with a big collection of these and they were so fun. So I am starting my own collection, and because they are collector's items, they are pricier. They're hand painted and handmade in Germany, but mine is from Amazon. Definitely not as cheap as you would think for how little he is, but I'll link some good ones down below for you guys, so you can check them out also. All right, so above the sink, I do have this garland. It's actually 3 garlands. I had the same thing last year, and I just redid it again this year because I think it's really pretty. And then in the corner of my countertops, I just put my tiered tray out with some oranges that some of them I've put cloves in. I believe they're called orange pomanders. And there are some walnuts in there also, and some fresh, is that cedar? Someone let me know. Some fresh greenery from the backyard. And then moving over from here, the other half of my kitchen is very tiny, so we don't do a whole lot. Just some towels, which they're barely even set up. A candle on a cutting board on my stove usually. I have a wreath above the stove, but I take that off when I'm cooking. And then I have this cute little copper colander with some vintage shiny brights. My mom got me that colander, and she also got me this really cute rolling pin that I put in my little utensil crock, and I also put a Moscow Mule mug with some greenery. And it's really fun to cook in the kitchen because you can see my tree from here, and it's a really nice view, I think. So that's pretty much it for the kitchen. We're gonna head into the dining room now, which is through this way, but I have some candles that I want to light, so give me just a second and we will head in there. All right, so I'm hoping that I don't have to take my ring light in there, we'll see. But walking into our dining room, I did frame out the doorway with this garland, and I honestly never noticed that the doorway in here had this like kind of cool detail in the corner where it's slanted, kind of almost rounded, but not quite. So I wanted to accent that. And we have tons of little candlelight and things in here. I think I probably will have to get the ring light out, but this is the space. Let me go get my ring light so I can kind of brighten this up for you guys. Okay, so let's start with my fireplace in here. I think I'm gonna start with the top. So first of all, the top of this is stained. My brother used to have this and he has coffee stains on it and it needs repainted, but whatever, it's fine. And these candle holders, I know they're definitely more modern than the vibe of this room, but I wanted to use them because, you know, my everyday style does have touches of modern, and I didn't want to take away my entire style just for my Christmas decor. So anyways, those were from our wedding, and I thought I would use them this Christmas before I sell them. I know I'm gonna get questions about this gorgeous piece here, and this is called a German pyramid, or sometimes people call them a German carousel. They spin because of the heat coming off of the candles, and I grew up with one of these, so I was so excited to finally get my own. And if you can see, it's a little nativity scene. You're supposed to put tea lights, but my tea lights I knew my tea lights would burn out too quickly. For some reason it just stopped spinning, but it does normally spin, and I'll link it below for you if it's still available. I was very excited to put a garland on this fireplace this year, so I did 2 garlands from Michaels mixed together, and then the ornament garland is also from Michaels, and then of course the fairy lights that you see going. This fireplace was really fun to decorate, but a little bit challenging because it had to go underneath a window, and typically a fireplace would not be underneath a window, so we're still trying to figure out window treatments for that window also, so I think it turned out really, really cute. So when you walk in to the dining room, to the right is this cabinet, which I'll call a hutch, but it's not really a hutch. And I have it framed in garland. And I actually store my extra dishes and things like that in here, so I just decorate around them. And then, in case you're wondering, down below is where we keep our dog's bagged food. So I'll take you in closer. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit dark, but there's a ton of little details, so I'll just show you a few of them that I really love, and we'll keep it moving. So this year, I just kind of accented all of my dishes and things with greenery. You can see I got a pack of Greenery from Joann's that had like 10 little pieces in it. That was great. I did a bunch of little striker bells, some burgundy velvet ribbon, and ornaments. You'll also see my little cardinal that my husband got me this year. I love cardinals. I feel like they represent loved ones who have passed. And also the dried oranges I extended into this room as well. I kind of wanted my kitchen and my dining room to flow together nicely. I'll show you why in a second here. But I have a couple little bell snickle Santas, as you can see. I just really love the way this turned out. So the reason why I wanted to incorporate the oranges and like my kitchen kind of extended it into here is because of this pass-through window. You can see it from the dining room, and so you can see those oranges and the bells and such. So I just wanted that all to play in together. And a cool thing about this room is that you can see that tree from my entryway from here as well. So I brightened it up just a touch, but as for the table, actually let's start above it. I've mentioned plenty of times that this is a fake chandelier. We can't have proper lighting or proper electrical in this beam because it's solid wood. So we thought the next best thing would be a faux delier. One of you guys said that in the comments that it was a faux delier. So that came from Big Lots. It's an outdoor one that you would put in like a pergola. And I like to put garland on it when I can. I feel like it dresses it up and makes it a little bit more fancy. As for my table, I don't have it fully set. I don't really like to put glasses out, but during Christmas time I will put these ones out because the light just sparkles off of them when the candlelight, I mean, when the lights are dim. It's so pretty. So I do set out plates, and my little train plates came from Walmart last year. I picked out the train ones because my dad loved his dad's Christmas train, and when my grandpa passed, my dad inherited that. And now that my dad has passed, it's just kind of like a reminder of him. Since I do host Christmas dinner, I like to have some little reminders of him in this room, and you'll see more. So we've seen the cardinal and the hutch, and now these plates. And for the centerpiece, I wanted to keep it super natural. I knew I wanted to use pomegranates because I use them in the kitchen. And then I was on Instagram and I saw, I want to say the account is called Bless Her Home. I hope that's the right one. She used similar, like kind of modern candle holders in her centerpiece, and it was like almost exactly what I was planning on doing anyway. So I was inspired to use these on the table. I was going to actually use them maybe on my buffet or something, but they look great on the table, and I put walnuts in there as well. And I'm using my vintage brass candlesticks in between also. The garland I'm using is from Michael's, by the way. It's not real, but I love it. So that is the table. I will set out forks and knives and extra glasses and all that kind of stuff when we get closer to Christmas. And by the way, I am definitely going to take the head chair this year because look at that view. I mean, both Christmas trees, all the candlelight. It's definitely the best seat in the house. Right next to the buffet, I just have this tree sitting on a stool. I think that's kind of cute. And then the buffet I wanted to set up very simply for now because I'm going to turn this into a drink station on Christmas. Just a small one because of course we're not having a big gathering. It'll just be my husband and I, maybe my brother and my mom. But I just have it set up for 2 right now. So I'll set it up with all different kinds of drinks because we have tons of wine and liquor and beer and all sorts of things left over from our wedding. So I am going to have the best bar set up. Of course, on the year when I can't even really have a party, but First, I'll show you guys our mirror. We did use this as a welcome sign at our wedding. We put a decal on it that said like welcome to Kristen and Jose's wedding. It was bittersweet to take it off, but I'm happy to have my mirror back, and I think it looks gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 framed in the Garland, and the mirror is vintage, by the way. I got it from a garage sale. I also have my vintage brass candlesticks with taper candles going in them. I love real candlelight, so I did get these hurricanes to put around them so they're a little bit safer from Amazon. And then I have a tray set up as like a little drink station for two. We actually are not big drinkers or anything, but these were some wedding gifts and we do like to host parties, so I thought this was kind of fun for the holidays. So I found this cute little ornament set from Target for $3, and I thought it would just be really fun set out as decor. I kind of want to antique the paper, so maybe like dip it in tea or something to kind of make it look old. I think that would be really cute. But we just have our decanter with some burgundy velvet ribbon tied onto it, our vintage Scottish Terrier piggy bank, and then these glasses. My friend Sherry actually sent me these as a wedding gift, and it was so sweet because she's a friend that I've met through social media. So I was not at all expecting anything from her, but she sent me these and I was so excited. These are like one of my favorite things that I had put on our registry, so I am obsessed. Thank you so much, Sherry. And then we have more candlesticks, and moving over would be the main attraction, which would be our Christmas tree. And this is our last stop on this home tour, so I'll take you guys in a little bit closer so you can see all of the details, and we will finish strong. All right, you guys, I just wanted to give you a view from this side over to the Christmas tree. I think it is so gorgeous. So this tree is new to us this year. I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace. It was well loved and used, like only one strand of lights worked in it, so I had to relight it. And it is a 9-foot slim profile Balsam Hill Christmas tree that I got for $30. How could I say no? You wouldn't have said no either, I don't think. You just don't say no to a Christmas tree this gorgeous for $30. So anyways, I didn't have to buy any new ornaments for this tree, which I've never loved the trees that I've had in here in my dining room for Christmas, because the dining room just kind of gets my leftover decor, but I'm at a place in my holiday collection where I love everything and nothing is really leftovers anymore. It's just all good stuff. So I am so excited about this tree, and since I had flocked trees in the past, this does feel like all new stuff because it looks totally different on a green Christmas tree. So it came out in like a woodland theme, which isn't necessarily what I was going for, but I love it, and I do like woodland themes. I'm not so big on themey trees anymore, so I do think they're really fun to do, and I don't mind doing it here in my dining room, especially because I have all the picks and the ribbon and the coordinating ornaments. But I did make sure to make this tree special with just things that have been collected over time. Like these ornaments were one of the first DIYs I did on my channel like 5 years ago now. My subscriber and friend sent me these little wood slice ornaments. This little pine cone is one that my husband gave me very early on in our relationship. Probably the most special thing of all on this tree though would be my cardinals. My dad, I told you he had passed last year right before Christmas, and he believed in cardinals. He believed that they were signs from loved ones who have passed, letting you know that they are near, and I have them all over the tree. I became a believer in cardinals while he was still alive because there were times that cardinals would visit him, and it was always in moments when he needed a sign. So I can't tell you now, since he has passed, how many times I have had what I can only explain as a sign from him involving cardinals and other things, but especially cardinals. And we'll finish up this video on this note, this quick little story about this little red bird ornament here, because I know that a lot of people are missing loved ones this year, and maybe this can be your sign if you lost somebody this year. And now you can look out for cardinals too. But as I had mentioned, I collect vintage ornaments, and I came across a Facebook listing for somebody who was selling tons of them. And we didn't know each other at all. She knew nothing about me, I knew nothing about her, but she was selling them for her grandmother. So right before I left to go look at these ornaments, a friend had texted me that her grandfather had passed, and she was devastated because she hasn't been able to see him because he's been in an assisted living center, and they are of course not letting the public in right now with what's going on in the world, and they haven't been for months. So she was heartbroken that she couldn't be there to say goodbye to him, and I didn't have the right words for her. I know how hard it is to lose a loved one. So I said, you know, you didn't get to say goodbye, but I guarantee you that your grandfather's gonna send you some signs and let you know that everything's okay and that he loves you. And I said, don't ever for a second question if a sign is from him. It's from him, and he's just letting you know that he's still there, and I get those signs all the time from my dad. So right after that conversation, I hopped in the car, I went to go pick up these ornaments, I talked with the lady for a moment just about the ornaments and how pretty they were, and right before I left, she said, here, I want you to have this one for free. I know he's a little dinged up, but have you ever seen an ornament like this before? You guys, I grew up with these little clip-on ornaments like this. They were on our Christmas tree, and I was floored that of the ornament that she decided to give me for free, it was this little red bird. And I don't know if he's a cardinal. He kind of looks like one to me, but I had to take that as a sign. And so I hope if you're watching this and you're missing a loved one right now, that you take this video as a sign and you embrace the season. And I pray for everybody's peace and happiness and health this Christmas season. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of my home this year for Christmas, and I will catch you in a future one. Bye now.